Tonight, why experts believe the Eyre Peninsula could become a global hub for renewable energy, and a motion to extend Broken Hill's cricket season voted down by just one vote.
This is Southern Cross News with Fraser Goldsworthy.
Good evening. Energy leaders on the Eyre Peninsula believe Port Lincoln could soon be a global hub for renewable power. Construction on a multi-million-dollar green hydrogen power plant is set to reshape Australia's power future.
In 2016, South Australia was plunged into darkness, the grid cutting off electricity supply across the state. Port Lincoln enduring 3 days without power. Nearly 2 years on, there's now light towards SA's power future.
That was sort of the catalyst for people to really start to think about how do we make renewables the future, how do we make them more reliable.
On Monday, the state government announced it would inject $12 million into a hydrogen-fuelled power plant to be built near Port Lincoln.
A huge project, probably the biggest capital project we've ever seen in this part of the world.
The 15-megawatt plant, constructed by Hydrogen Utility, will use existing renewables on the Eyre Peninsula to store power.
We're always generating wind power, but not all of it can go into the grid at that particular time. So this is taking that available power from wind or solar or other renewables and then converting that into hydrogen.
Energy Security Working Party member Jack Ritchie has been pushing towards a stable energy solution since the September crisis. He believes this is just the first step towards a global trend.
To ensure that there is a backup there of easily dispatchable power. And that's so essential.
The plant will fuel more jobs in the region, employing 30 staff during the construction stage and 30 ongoing jobs when the plant becomes operational next year.
It already has the clean green, the tourism, the marine environment, all of those things going for it. But now as that high energy, energy generation region, it's going to be incredible.
Jason Kemp, Southern Cross News.
Designs for the new Whyalla Jetty will have to incorporate disability-friendly features as part of the tender and design process. Council says it wants to ensure all residents can enjoy what the jetty will have to offer.
It's been nearly a year since Whyalla's Jetty was closed due to safety issues. The council has earmarked December as the opening date for a new structure, with March 2 the deadline for design tenders.
And then from there, it's all systems go, and we still believe we're going to be able to hit our December deadline in terms of opening a brand new jetty for our community to enjoy.
Any proposal must include special access for those with a disability. Council wants designs to feature special gates and handrails that'll allow those in wheelchairs to fish off the structure.
Designing every component of this jetty, and particularly the handrails, so that people, particularly in wheelchairs, can have access to fishing the same as everybody else.
Mr Cowley says internal feedback and community consultation was strongly in favour of wheelchair-specific areas along the new jetty.
Anyone that's, for example, in a wheelchair can have the same ability to fish in the same manner that anyone would be fishing who's not in a wheelchair.
John Hunt, Southern Cross News.
The Port Pirie MFS station is set to become a key fire support base in the region. The state government has promised to employ extra full-time permanent crews in a bid to boost the area's firefighting capacity.
It's been 5 years in the making, and now Port Pirie's set to receive 5 extra firefighters to help keep our region safe.
We've got a lot of trainees or retainees, and also there's people coming in and out. But the Minister just recently has allocated another 5 full-time employees, firefighters, for this particular station here.
The Port Pirie station currently has 30 staff. The extra positions will mean 1 extra firefighter per shift, in addition to a relief firefighter who will cover leave and illness.
And what that's going to mean is there's going to be security for the full-time staff here as well.
It'll mean the station will become a key support service to 7 other stations across the region, ranging from Wallaroo all the way to Port Lincoln.
Help us become what we're going to be a training facility for the whole north. It's going to give other stations around the north more of a backup.
With the region's population continuing to grow, extra firefighters will be able to assist other emergency services.
They're going to be able to call on us for backup with change of quarters when there's serious fires or incidents at other stations.
Risking their lives and going out and fighting fires, not only for residential but also down the smelters and industrial sites.
The positions are expected to be filled by current retained MFS firefighter ranks across regional South Australia over the next 3 years. Rachel Nell, Southern Cross News.
Broken Hill's cricket season will not be extended following a meeting between clubs and officials last night. A motion to push back the season 1 week to allow players more match time was rejected by just one vote.
Finals cricket in Broken Hill is still only 2 weeks away.
It was decided to leave the draw as is.
Cricket was cancelled last weekend due to extreme weather, making it the third time it's been called off since the season began. At last night's meeting, the Central Cricket Club moved to postpone the recent cancelled round rather than abandon it and extend the season by a week to give all players an extra match. But the proposal wasn't carried, with 4 in favour and 5 against.
There were some ramifications. Quite a few players had actually organised holidays after cricket finals. So as it stands at the moment, cricket remains as is. We've got 2 minor round games to go.
The semi-final and grand final will follow the remaining 2 rounds, with the season to be wrapped up a week before St Pat's. The meeting yielded some ideas for next season though, including a review of the league's heat policy.
There's quite a bit of talk about on days of 42 and 43 whether we can actually start, say, at 10 o'clock in the morning and get the game out of the way before the extreme heat of the day.
As for night cricket, the Jubilee Oval is the only venue that can accommodate it, with lights being installed at the Alma a long way off for now.
I think night cricket at 2 different venues at this stage is out of the question, so we need to arrange around that.
Patrick Reinke, Southern Cross News.
After the break, Whyalla businesses invited to a seminar on how to boost their productivity. Details next. The state government is looking to expand the Mid-North's national parks. It's purchased land on the western slopes of the Southern Flinders Ranges for both locals and tourists to enjoy.
Showcasing the hidden wonders of the Mid-North region. The state government's purchased 1,610 hectares of land, connecting 3 iconic tourist destinations together.
Which is pretty close to 4,000 acres, and it will connect the Napperby Gorge with the Talawi Gorge and back across to the Warabra forest.
The new national park will be located a short drive out of Port Pirie, giving a spectacular view of the Flinders Ranges down to the Spencer Gulf.
13 kilometres northeast of Port Pirie, which is a bit further north of the reservoir and Laurie Park.
It's hoped the purchase will secure long-term protection for a number of rare and vulnerable plants and animals, including the scarlet robin and regent parrot.
It'll make it easier for the government to conserve and protect those species and keep out weeds and disease.
The land features 2 large gorges providing new walking and hiking opportunities, adding to the recreational value of the Port Pirie community. It also means effective bushfire prevention methods will be put in place following the devastating Bangor bushfire in 2014.
I think the government has strengthened their ability to provide better outcomes for fire protection.
Once this land is added to the National Park system, people will be able to hike across 8,000 hectares in the Southern Flinders Ranges. Rachel Nell, Southern Cross News.
As Pirie continues to prepare for the reopening of its North Mine in Broken Hill, the company has also been busy working out the haulage route for its ore trucks. Patrick Reinke has the details.
The North Mine hasn't been operational for almost a decade, but the day is rapidly approaching for when it's back to business. Pirie has been hard at work preparing the mine. Outside of the site, it has also been given permission to transport the ore to its southern operations along a specific route. The trucks will leave the North Mine and turn onto Argent Street. They'll follow the road down to the outskirts of the CBD before turning left onto Iodide Street. It's then an immediate ride onto Crystal Street, where the trucks will follow the road down to the South Bypass T-junction with Gypsum. They'll turn right again and then pull into the entrance of the southern operations. Pirie was required to improve parts of the road along the route, much to the benefit of local drivers. 2 busy intersections have been resurfaced and more upgrades are on the way. Full-scale production at the mine is expected by 2026. 140 jobs will be created at the site and is expected to run for 16 years.
Whyalla businesses are being invited to take part in a workshop by the state's peak business body. Business SA's Regional Voice program is set to visit the city next week, focusing on boosting health and well-being in the workplace.
The tyranny of distance from a capital city can be a disadvantage for regional businesses looking for support. Business SA's Regional Voice program is looking to fill that void, bringing metropolitan networking opportunities into regional areas. It's stopping in Whyalla next Tuesday.
Not everybody has an opportunity to sit with representatives from these organisations. As a Whyalla Chamber, we are fortunate we do, and we are able to act as a conduit.
2 sessions will be run at the Westlands Hotel. One will be a networking session, with business owners having the chance to meet Business SA staff and discuss their issues. The other will be a workshop focusing on employee health and well-being, something local groups say is a critical issue.
Gives people an insight into how to create that environment where people feel comfortable working in the workplace.
The invitation's been extended to non-profit and community groups as well.
I believe that as a chamber we not only represent the businesses, but what we do also has an impact on the community, so therefore we've done that.
For details on how to register, head to our Facebook page. John Hunt, Southern Cross News.
After the break, why today is a bumper day for the region's businesses. We'll share the love next. Well, for many, today is a day to celebrate romance and love, but the region's businesses are also celebrating a bit of a boost. Southern Cross News has caught up with Port Augusta operators to look at how they're responding to Valentine's Day.
It's a day where many celebrate love, but our regions are feeling it too.
There's quite a few businesses that benefit from days like today, like your florists and especially your restaurants in the day as well as at night. So we're very appreciative. It's a good day for everyone.
The Hannahville Hotel says for Valentine's Day dinner tonight, it's expecting crowds.
Dinner probably being the more popular, especially here in Port Augusta. So yeah, we do have quite a few bookings. Mind you, we've still got a lot of space to go. So yeah, we're quite interested to see a couple more come through the door.
While Mother's Day sees more customers through the door, Port Augusta jewellers are seeing a boost in sales.
We've had the last minute ones, the desperate ones that might have forgotten about it or missed the hype or just haven't had an opportunity.
Statistics show that today 80% of men and 72% of women are planning to buy something for their significant other. It comes as no surprise that today is the busiest day of the year for florists, as flowers and cards are at the top of this gift list.
Couples are definitely still celebrating, thankfully. So, yeah, people are coming out, they're still embracing the day and coming out and spending a bit of time with a significant other, which is excellent.
Amelia Simpson, Southern Cross News.
Preparations are ramping up for Port Lincoln's big day at the races, with the Cup just a few weeks away. Last year's winner, Eustanov's Fury, is yet to nominate for the race for a chance to go back-to-back.
The countdown is on to Port Lincoln's biggest racing day on the calendar.
Oh, it's a fantastic community event and there's lots of colour and fashion and style.
The Cup is just 4 weeks away, with preparations now in the home straight. This year's trackside action will cater to even more fans with the addition of a PIMS marquee.
No need for an invitation, it's a public area so they can wander into the area. There's stand-up tables and stools and umbrellas and so forth, and a marquee that will dispense the product for them.
As always, the fashion on the field promises just as competitive as the race itself.
The people who wish to enter fashion at the races, we're looking forward to that part of the day, and there'll be some lucky winners.
It's not known yet whether last year's winner, Eustanov's Fury, will race for back-to-back Cups after a successful stint in Adelaide.
Eustanov's Fury was racing over the Christmas period in Adelaide and was successful in 2 races, so I'm not sure whether he's currently spelling or he's ready to return.
And for those eager to find some form before Cup Day, the Lincoln Racecourse has a family prelude on Sunday.
We'll be bouncing castles in our little birdcage area. It will be available for children and so forth, and there'll be giveaways for the children. So this Sunday is a perfect example of a family-focused day that the club provides.
Jason Kemp, Southern Cross News.
Should be a good day. Time now for Fuel Watch.
While it smiles all round for those pumping diesel this week, nearly all unleaded prices are showing red. Much to Adelaide motorists' frustration, a nice $1.24 for unleaded has taken a U-turn into a whopping $1.45. Luckily, the highest unleaded price in the region goes to Broken Hill, a slight jump from last week. No changes for Whyalla and Port Pirie, and Port Lincoln is only just in the red by 0.2. Here in Port Augusta, we're seeing a slight upward trend by 0.4. Kadina is in the green, only just down from last week. It's a mixed bag for diesel. Adelaide on a more even keel here, down by 0.2. Broken Hill is again the highest price in the region, but that's down by 3 cents from last week. Port Lincoln is down by 2 cents, and Whyalla motorists will be wanting to fill their tanks as prices are in the green by nearly 5 cents at $1.34. Not good news for the rest of the board. However, Port Pirie and Kadina seeing slight price jumps, and here in Port Augusta we're at 139.2. Now remember, these prices are regional averages and do not reflect any one particular outlet. If you do find unleaded or diesel for cheaper, be sure to let us know on our Facebook page.
Stay with us. After the break, we'll have all the local weather details with Abby Donaldson. And Abby, it was a lovely sunny day around the region today.
It certainly was, Fraser. We saw gorgeous sunny skies and it looks like they're here to stay. I'll have all the details next. Welcome back. Taking a look at temperatures today, well, as you can see, that sunshine was certainly out and about for all centres. It was warm in Port Augusta, 32 the top. Temps cooled off in Whyalla and Port Pirie to a pleasant 28. It was cooler in Port Lincoln as well, 24 there. To the satellite now, and patchy cloud crossing central and northern South Australia within a low pressure trough is triggering some light drizzle in areas, while skies are clear and fine everywhere else. On the waters for your Thursday, we'll see southerly winds shifting southwesterly, increasing up to 20 knots, seas at 2 metres with a south-southwesterly swell, and sunrise is close to 5 to 7 tomorrow morning. Now looking at tomorrow's temperatures, sunny skies everywhere, warm in Port Augusta again, 31 the top, cooler in the west, 25 the top for Port Lincoln and just 21 the max for Coffin Bay. Warm in Woodner and Corn, 31 the top for both. Port Pirie's in for a 30-degree day, while temps will hover around the high 20s everywhere else. To the rest of the week and into the weekend, we'll see lovely temps around the mid to high 20s for Port Lincoln and Cleve, but it will remain quite warm in Woodner as the mercury rises to a hot 35 degrees on Sunday. We'll see sunny conditions all round though. Further up the Gulf, it starts to heat up again into the weekend. We'll see temps reach the low 30s for Whyalla and Kadina on Saturday and Sunday. Port Augusta is in for another hot one, a scorching 36 the top on Sunday. And lastly, temps will remain in the 30s over the next couple of days for Port Pirie as the mercury rises to 34 degrees on Sunday. It's warming up in Clare too, but it's an absolute sizzler in Broken Hill this weekend, a scorching 37 the top for Sunday. So Fraser, warmer weather and more sunshine is on the way.
Thanks, Abby. And that's the local news for this Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy your evening. Good night.